To prevail on a motion for a preliminary injunction, a party generally must prove that there's a reasonable likelihood of success on the merits of its claim. Also, in an interested transaction between a corporation or limited liability company and that entity's majority shareholders or members, the majority shareholders or members must prove that the transaction was entirely fair to the entity's minority shareholders or members. But what if an operating agreement limits a majority member's liability for interested transactions? The Delaware Court of Chancery considered this question in Solar Cells Incorporated versus True North Partners, LLC. Solar Cells was a solar energy corporation, and True North Partners was a limited liability company, or LLC, that financed Solar Cells' technology development. Solar Cells and True North later formed First Solar LLC in Delaware to commercialize and market the technology. Under First Solar's operating agreement, Solar Cells and True North were each given equal voting rights, but True North could elect 3 of the 5 members who managed First Solar's business. Therefore, True North was First Solar's majority member. In March of 2002, True North's managers voted to approve a merger of First Solar into First Solar Operating LLC, which was a wholly owned subsidiary of True North. But Solar Cells members didn't receive notice of the merger or its terms until 4 days later. Under the proposed merger, Solar Cells' ownership interest in the surviving company would be reduced from 50% to 5%. Moreover, the merger terms were based on a January company valuation substantially lower than previous valuations. Subsequently, Solar Cells sued True North in the Delaware Court of Chancery for breach of fiduciary duty and moved for a preliminary injunction. In its motion, Solar Cells argued, in part, that it had a reasonable likelihood of success on the merits because True North wouldn't be able to prove entire fairness. True North argued that it only had to prove that it acted in good faith in approving the merger because the company's operating agreement limited a member's liability for interested transactions. The court then held a hearing on Solar Cells' motion.